That was a long week.
It was a fun week though.
So we were invited to come down to
Sun Outdoors, Chincoteague Bay in Virginia, right on the water.
We were down here to host our 2023 summer camp out. So if you missed our summer camp out, you missed any of our camp outs, you really need to check them out because it was a blast.
It was, and it's a beautiful location. Pretty much the whole campground is on the water, but they have water view, waterfront, and then in the center, but I don't really think there's a place in the campground that you can't see the water.
They have this thing pretty set up. The cabins, the campsites, everything are staggered. So even if you're not on the water like we're sitting right now, the campers or the other tents or cabins are behind it and you can see the water.
They have them staggered out really well, and they have amazing amenities here. Of course, we're in our RV, but you could camp in a tent. There was a couple last night across from us in their van. I don't mean a camping van, just a van.
They were honeymooning in it.
We are currently sitting on the porch of one of the glamping tents, which are pretty cool too. So kind of like a tent meets a yurt. They have AC, cooking, a bathroom, which is, you know, a step above most yurts, or definitely above a tent. They have cabins that are just single cabins on the water, and then the staggered across the street cabins have an upper deck, so you have a water view from up there with all the railings and stuff are glass, so there's no obstructions.
Yeah, there's a glass deck up there, and if you watch this video all the way to the end, you'll get to see where we literally took our GoPro up there and did the sunset and time lapse. So make sure you check it at the end. You'll see the time-lapsed sunset off of a cabin that's not right on the water, and you can still see everything.
What else? So they also have here a huge playground, like a huge playground area. They don't have a restaurant on site, but what they do have is a food truck that is on site and open in the evenings. I think right now he's open Thursday through Sunday, but as they get busier, because this is a brand new campground, guys, it just opened in June. So as they get busier, he'll be open, you know, more frequently. But the menu, I think he changes it up every couple of weeks. They had banked shrimp, they had regular shrimp.
Which was amazing.
They had burgers, fries, a little bit of everything, and it was very good. And I thought the prices were pretty good for what they were. They have a pretty sweet pool. Has a nice lounge area where you can kick back in your lounge chair
so if you don't
in the water.
If you don't want to swim, you're old folks like us, and we don't want to get out there and swim, you just kind of sit back and you get your butt wet in the water and you kick your feet up and you can work or you can read a book.
Yes, and they had like the buckets that dump for the kids to play in the other end. There was no part of the pool that was hugely deep. It's more of just a place to get in the water and relax, but it was sectioned off kind of neat. They have a huge camp store with, you know,
everything you can imagine. If you forgot your eggs, you forgot your bacon, they had it. If you need your stuff for your s'mores, they had it. They sold the firewood on stock. So
and then of course, well, and t-shirts, hats, you know, that kind of stuff. But they had a lot of. I got a cool ponytail hat. I love it. And they have a meeting room. So we did our event at the pavilion outside, but they also have like a group room that if you want to do like a birthday party or something like that, they have that inside. So
let's talk about the pavilion that was there. People want to set up and have their campouts or meetups, or if they're just having a family reunion, because you can do anything here because you don't have to have a camper. There's so many
options,
so many yurts and so many different cabins on hand here. So you don't even have to be an RVer to come here. So if you're having a family reunion or you have a big get together, there is a pavilion there, and there's a couple tables in there. We asked for some more tables, and they loaded us up with tables. So it's right on the water.
It's just like here, only further down this boardwalk, so the water's right there.
So it's right on the water, so you got that breeze and you got that constant. Now the time when we had our thing there, the wind was kind of brutal, but
it's the windiest day we were here.
But yeah, so you have plenty of room to host anything you really want to host. So don't be afraid that just because you're an RVer that you don't want to come.
It would be a great place for like a family reunion.
It might be a good place for a wedding right there with all the stuff in the back.
You know, it'd be cool to have a wedding on top of one of those decks where you can look out over the water. So anyway,
there is a dog fenced-in area here. It wasn't open when we were here. I think they're still trying
waiting
to
on
get permits or whatever. But
yeah,
that's going to be pretty huge. That's a big.
Yeah,
big
it was a nice
so,
area.
So even, you know, there's a lot of things around here to do too. So you don't have to just sit here at the campground. We went to see the wild ponies out on Assateague Island or Assateague.
Chincoteague. But there you can go to Assateague. I think it's maybe an hour away. There's all kinds of like cool little beachy shops and stuff, mom and pop stops, restaurants downtown. And right across from the campground is a little marina. So there's fishing cruises, small boats, big boats. There's like a tiki. I don't know. It's the biggest pontoon I've ever seen. Probably that's not what it's called, so you can correct me below. But you can book, you know, fishing outings or just fun sunset cruises. The dolphins were out all weekend.
Yeah, so if you like dolphins, they were up and down here every single night. So you got to see the dolphins out there. And if you have one of those cabins and you're way up high, you can really see the dolphins.
Yeah. And they have a fishing, I don't think you can see it from here, but right down there, there's a fishing pier. The kids went crabbing off the pier. There's a little boat dock down there. And then over by our site, there's a huge deck that's out over the water that, of course, you could fish off that as well. But the views were amazing.
And the state park is down the road. It wasn't too far away. I think it was $10 to get in. You have full access to the whole beach. So if you're one of those beach goers and you want to be on the Atlantic Ocean side and you have your little tent and your little umbrellas
your
and
little
stuff,
canopy thing,
and you want to sit out there and enjoy the views from the beach, you're right there. It's not that far. And up the road from that a little bit was the lighthouse. So if you want to go see the Chincoteague lighthouse of it,
it's currently like they're doing some restoration, so it's only open to go in and climb on Saturdays.
Yeah, we missed that part of it. But, so there's all kinds of things to do around here. I will give you guys one bit of advice. If you're going to go to eat, and if you're going to go to eat with just a group of people, might make a reservation or get there early, because it is a pretty big island, but there's not a lot of good restaurants. So
well, there's only a few restaurants, so they get full fast. And after everybody's been on the water all day and they want to come in and just relax and have a drink and have something to eat, they're all piling in. The Island Creamery, homemade ice cream.
You know she's going to find the ice cream.
Also, there's Mr. Whippy's, which is soft-serve ice cream, been around for years and years and years. And one of the coolest things, if you're looking for a way to get around the island, you don't want to take the dually and park it, the campground rents several options. They have golf carts, which everybody knows.
You got to keep your golf cart.
Their golf carts are on the resort only. They also rent e-bikes, and they have these little things called moats. They look kind of like an old-fashioned, was it Volkswagen that made, I think it was probably their competition for a Jeep. It kind of looked Jeepy. Anyway, that's what they remind me of. We'll put some footage of them because they were super cool. And you can rent those, and those you can drive all around the island and all the way over to Assateague. They're electric, but they were super cool. They were super cool.
So there's all kinds of things to do around here. Like I said, you're on an island, so there's water all around you. So if you're a water lover, this is definitely a place to go. The weather here has been amazing. We're in here in July, and it was humid because you're on the water.
Right, but it was cool at night. There was
a couple of nights that we had our fire outside.
Yeah,
people were having their jackets.
I was so worried that it wouldn't be cool enough to have a campfire, but it was. We had a campfire. And the staff here is super nice. Like, they're very accommodating. And I know I'm cheap, so I typically stay at the cheap places where you have to take your own trash and all that. You don't do any of that here. Any time of the day. It's not even hours. Like a lot of places we stayed where they pick up your trash, you have to put it out before 10 a.m. or whatever the magic hour is. Here it's like, no, just whenever you've got trash, just sit it out at the edge of your site. Somebody will pick it up when they ride by.
And that was one of the biggest complaints we've read online, and we've heard people talk about this, that there's no trash cans available. There's no trash cans. Well, make it easier to sell.
You don't need
just put the bag of trash outside, and they come pick it up.
And then the good thing, in my opinion, of course it's just my opinion, if they're picking the trash up and you don't see the trash cans, that means if they're overflowing, like we've all experienced at a campground before, you don't have to see it. I don't even know where the trash can is. So just the convenience of dropping it and not having to look at it being piled up or be in that campsite where you're right beside the dumpster. You're not going to have that here. Like, everything's clean. The laundry's clean. I did laundry yesterday, and the laundry, you can either Samsung or Apple Pay or Galaxy and Apple Pay, or you can swipe your card, or there's an app you can download, so you don't even have to have coins for the laundry.
And it's only $3 for a wash, $3
$3 a load, and it was very clean. The bathrooms everything's clean. I know it's new, so but I just feel like it'll probably stay that way because the staff here was amazing. Are you just taking in the view?
This is our last day here, guys, so we're just going to listen to the water.
It's a little hazy this morning, and the other thing, the sunsets. Oh, beautiful.
The good thing about an island, though, you get to see the sunrise and the sunset.
Something else, right across from our campsite is Wallops Island. So if you've ever been down here, or if you've watched on TV or Facebook or whatever, when they launched the rockets from Wallops Island, if you scheduled it right, you can watch, like the launch was right across from us. We'd had the perfect site. There wasn't a launch when we were here.
Can you imagine having our deck down on our camper and sitting there with the chairs and just watching the launch? Because they said you can actually feel it.
It would have been amazing.
Because it's not that far across the water. So
yeah.
We missed it by a couple weeks. We knew there was going to be one, and they kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. But finally, they decided they wanted to not wait for us and more.
And if you're looking for a place to come watch the annual Chincoteague pony swim where they swim across, that's here. So this would be a great place to come stay for that. And that marina I was talking about across the water here, they do, I was looking on their website, they do where you can sign up to be on the boats, and the boats go over so you could watch that pony crossing from the water. So that would be fun too. We talked to a lot of people that were here that are locals, or I guess that come down from Maryland on a regular basis, and they just love it here. So it's not just us. And I think everybody in our group had a great time.
So I think you guys are going to love it. Come on down. If you guys come down, just tell them that FindUsCamping sent you, and check it out and see what you guys really think. And then if you do come back to this video and let us know what you thought about it. Yeah. I will tell you the one negative thing, and they can't really fix that, and it's on the island because we've been on this island a couple times. The flies, the green head
they call them
flies
green
or
heads,
whatever.
and they bite.
They will bite you pretty good. We noticed that it was really bad when we first backed in. It looked like we moved them around or did whatever.
Right, they're probably on the ground.
After the week that we were there, we didn't have too much problem with them. But horseflies.
The breeze tends to keep, just like horseflies at the pool.
That's the one negative thing that we saw at this park, and there's nothing they can do because we were at the lighthouse and they were there. Yeah. We were at the putt-putt and they were there. So it's nothing they can really control, but just be prepared. Don't say I didn't warn you.
There's always a price to pay for being near the water, but it's worth it. It's so worth it.
So we're going to get out of here. We're going to let that sunset down over there for you guys so you guys can see the sunset.
But hey, if you're liking these videos, give us a thumbs up.
Make sure you give us that thumbs up. Make sure you ring that bell. We're going to be doing a lot more videos now that Lisa is able to do some more videos.
Get that arm up.
That video is coming out. You'll see that video.
We're getting there.
But if you were looking for an organized group like us, make sure you follow us on Facebook and all those, because we're due 3 or 4 campouts a year. And I'm gonna tell you what, next year we're working with Blue Water, which is part of this, and we have a big trip going on next year. So we're going to be stopping in 3 or 4 or 5 different Blue Water locations. So if you can't make the caravan trip out there with us, hopefully you guys can find us camping at one of those.
Yeah, and we'll be posting those dates as soon as we have them nailed down firmly.
So make sure you follow us on Facebook, because that's where we'll post all the places we're going to go. So until you guys find us camping at one of our campouts or one of these, I don't want to leave,
beautiful locations. Safe travels, y'all.
We got time on our side, at least to stay alive, and the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise, that with you I feel alive. You will be the last one I think about knocking at your door. I know one thing for sure, I've never been so close before. You were true.